one of those games. It was like an Ashe Seraphine with Yeon, style composition for them. And so Shopify, there's a couple things they can do. Not only the Olaf, that we saw pop off, but also Bvoy is a very good Lucian player, and they could try and put priority onto the Lucian Milio very early to go with, one of those winning bottom lanes into it and try and keep that pressure high. They are going to start out with the Rumble composition, but immediately follow it with the Galio here into the Orianna so that they can have that extra, global here for the team fight.
And that's super interesting to see them taking the Rumble and then one of the more obvious Rumble counters up in that top lane away from Morgan. I'm glad you brought up the bot lanes, Kobe, because I definitely think that's exactly what I was thinking with these two teams, right? It's like, okay, Lucian Milio is going to be hotly contested. I think we have two very strong Lucian players. And then additionally, Ashe Seraphine, like you already pointed out, has been one of TL's most successful champs. We see the Nafari coming out for Josedeodo, though, and the combination we've talked about. I think Azale was calling it dog wave now, but we'll put that aside. Ori ball onto the assassination power of the Nafari can be incredibly strong.
What about the Shakiri with you go
dog wave
with the Fury?
That's actually
awesome.
way better.
Yeah, throw out dog wave.
So they do get that combo, the Nafari ult and the Orianna shockwave. We saw them time it really well, so super cool engage. But if you also layer the Ornn on top of it, where you, Emily, you were talking about Rumble counters and they're taking away the Galio, the other tank kind of answer into Rumble has always been the Ornn. And so now they're layering that Ornn. Not only is it a nice lane, but you can also have that Ornn ultimate. So their team fight is just insane looking right now from Team Liquid. And so Shopify, they're investing more on dive, because whenever you give over an Orianna, you want stuff to put pressure on that low mobility carry, dive it as much as possible. You're going to get the Wukong and Galio combination to try and keep the Orianna in place for Rumble ultimate, and hopefully that's enough to just burn down the low mobility carry here.
Yep, and now we see some of the more of those bot lane options being taken away. The Seraphine taken out, the Karma taken out, and the Nautilus taken out. I do think it's interesting with these two specific supports. We kind of always talk about core, or we used to, I think a lot more, talk about core on engage versus core on a more enchanter style support. And kind of this conundrum of he's such a good engager, it's not like he can't play enchanters, but since he's so strong on engage, with some of the recent patch changes, these are two supports, because Seos is also that. If you look at the top 10 played supports for both of these supports, only 2 of them are enchanters, and the rest are just complete engage.
Well, I'd imagine an enchanter will be paired with this one, as Lucian's locked in early here for Bvoy. Kobe had highlighted this. This is something that Bvoy loves to play.
Yeah, and you can, go the Milio. We're getting a hover on Nami here, even with Mandate being completely changed. So Mandate now is the, ability haste for CC abilities and doesn't have the same damage burst. So it's just the hover. It really has kind of completely changed how she plays. And so we'll go with the Milio, which it's so easy to consistently proc Lucian passive. It feels like his passive is like always up. And you can go in for these trades and the warm hugs as well with the extra range. And so this duo is just taking over. But very clearly, TL also expected it. And they've been very confident and had so much success with their Xayah Rakan with Yeon and CoreJJ. I feel like they have definitely been the best Xayah Rakan combo in the entire league.
Yeah, I think they are super. I mean, this entire TL comp screams to me team fighting and just kind of comfort around the board. I like that Bvoy and Seos are bringing out the Lucian Milio, though, because as we already saw yesterday, you brought up how Milio, it pretty much perma-procs Lucian passive. He's so much more deadly in those trades. It's so hard to step up to the wave, especially if you're behind against the Lucian Milio. So we'll see if Bvoy and Seos can pilot that to success.
Cozy Campfire makes that range advantage much stronger for Lucian now into the Xayah lane. So Shopify Rebellion versus Team Liquid, ready for game number 1. Eyes will be on Bvoy, on the Lucian. Can he carry with it? And also a lot of eyes on the junglers. Contractz versus Josedeodo, both of these guys, stars of their respective rosters. Can Contractz get it done again here today, or will Team Liquid continue and run through the lower bracket matching the expectations placed not only by themselves, but by much of the community. Shopify Rebellion versus Team Liquid. Make some noise, everybody, at the Riot Games Arena. We're into game number 1.
All right, let's see, because you always do have to be a little worried with Nafari looking for invades. We have seen Contractz himself do some pretty aggressive Nafari routes. So he goes to get the early ward towards Raptors, and since they see each other so late too, they're both going to know that each jungler are starting from the top side, looking down to the bottom lane battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
And the battlefield we have constantly highlighted here when Lucian Milio have really gained so much hype.
It's Raz's match of the week, guys. This came up yesterday at the end of the day because my match of the week was unfortunately a 3-0.
What happened to that one,
Raz, I mean, were you not
Raz is taking over.
Raz is taking over
Yeah.
because I didn't do a good job picking match of the week this week. So, you know, this is Raz's match of the week. Let's go.
Yeah, woo.
Now I want always us to have both. I want us to always have Emily's match of the week, which Emily is usually going to pick like the serious, like whichever teams are really close in the standings.
Yep.
Yeah.
And usually the teams that are at the top of the standings are going to be Emily's match of the week. And then Raz is going to pick the most
Dignitas,
the most scrappy,
Yeah.
like weird one. I actually think it'll be fun to keep track of both.
Well, for now, this is at least Raz's one. I want to catch up on what happened on the bot side, though. Bvoy actually did a great job of getting lane priority down here. Thank you, observers, for highlighting this again. Early level lead from Bvoy and Xayah, and they are making it worthwhile.
Yeah, we saw in the opener, they walk behind the lane, and you put that ward by Gromp as well to see them. They go for the little like slight invade to get vision through blue Gromp, and then return to lane, just walk right in front of the minions, and you're just always threatening this big damage really early on with this combination. And so they utilize it fairly effectively, and look at that. Already almost at a turret plate, but we were talking about your stunners and the effectiveness, Kangas.
So the record dramatically increased since he took a stunner. We'll have to see if I have to give another as Contractz goes for the invade. Josedeodo defending the Gromp right now. Bot lane's not answering yet as Contractz still here. Josedeodo now pushing back. Contractz towards Xayah, helping him out with the Coast Campfire. In comes QUID. Does not have a lot of mana though, so mostly the autos, and Contractz will, with the help of his support, continue the invade. QUID wrapping around again here. Now 80 carries are finally walking up. Bvoy's going to get there a little faster, but Contractz is low, has the flash available. Teleport in as mid lane actually went for the reset. So Zinie heavily backing up Contractz on this invade.
Yeah, exactly. You see him in the line brush down there. He went for the recall, and since Orianna is out of mana, that's basically not really a champion anymore, no more threat. And so Shopify, they do successfully execute their early plan here. We got a cheer in the crowd for the underdogs there. And this plan is all built around the Lucian Milio having priority early on. So they're like, okay, we're going to use this bot lane to go for the invade. And they do successfully take away that blue buff.
Yeah, it's super important that the Lucian Milio were able to get that. And this is something that actually went awry the last time these two teams met, where Shopify kind of attempted a similar invade, did not work out as well. So having that pushing bot lane, really nice little early start for not only Bvoy, but now for Contractz.
And it's not just the bot lane that set that up. Zinie going for that TP also. It just shows that Shopify clearly have a game plan and are pulling it off together. Even Zinie getting a big chunk on a QUID as he teleported back into lane. So let's see what Contractz can do with that lead now, because he's successfully pulled off the invade, but you gotta actually get something afterwards.
Yeah, and Wukong is a great team fighting champion, for junglers, and he does have a Galio mid lane to make a lot of plays with. Who, by the way, is harassing and stealing away some Raptors here. So Zinie really playing for jungle, especially when you're playing a champion like Galio. Always should be one of the things at the forefront of your mind. So harassing enemy jungler, taking away some of the Raptors. They took away the blue buff. It's really leaving a bit of an effect here on Jose. Slightly behind on the Nafari. And remember, as far as Contractz Wukong, that was the second game that he played really well against DSG and had a big carry performance, was on the Wukong as well.
And it is really great to see thus far how well you just talked about how Galio can play for jungle in these kind of matchups, as we see Jose.
Yeah, use the Justice Punch forward. Should be able to get out of here just fine. No Shockwave available on QUID. Xayah's going to try and catch his wave bot side. Don't imagine a dive happening there. But yeah, Josedeodo, he looks for a little play there mid. Not going to find anything. Maybe invading Contractz now as he'll spot out, smite onto the red buff.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that Contractz and Zinie are working better together, right? Like, that's actually huge, and it was kind of a glaring issue in Shopify's earlier games this split, and something, you know, Contractz has talked about extensively in terms of making sure that the two of them are on the same page and that communication is increased, and he's talked about how much better it's been recently, and we're seeing that in action in Shopify's early game.
Yeah, definitely agree. That is important, and Contractz was very complimentary of Zinie after that series that they won too. We had him on the lounge for the interview as he's running away now from the bottom lane. And in the interview, we're like, oh yeah, who do you think is player of this game? Clearly, he had all of our votes.
Yep.
But he was like, I'd go for Zinie because he had some good, well-placed Anivia walls and stuff like that. So the respect is definitely there between them, and the synergy growing.
Right now, taunt up onto QUID here. We see Contractz continuing his jungle advantage. 18 CS up over Josedeodo. Was hovering around the dragon, but with multiple members of Team Liquid in the area, does not look like they will commit to that one yet. But as I say that, he actually does start it up.
Yeah, this is what a pushing bot lane gets you. Does look like Jose is going to try to contest here.
Yeah, and now Bvoy and Xayah have to find a way in. Look for CoreJJ's engage. Could find the knock-up. We'll get the shield onto Yeon. Look for the blade caller. Not going to land the root, though. And Contractz still just whacking away at the dragon as Zinie comes in. Playing bodyguard, pushing away Josedeodo, and this looks like it's going to be a dragon early for Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, again, nice little move from Zinie to kind of threaten that wraparound, right, onto where TL were. And again, pushing bot lane. There's a reason why bot lane has become such a battlefield, why junglers keep repeatedly going down there. And Bvoy and Xayah getting early prio with this Lucian Milio lane has not only helped out now Contractz with the aid of Zinie in terms of his jungle CS and overall presence, but also nets them that first Drake pretty early.
Yep, mid lane and bot lane pushing, playing for jungle, makes you feel all warm and cozy inside. And it
some cozy campfires.
The rift is healing.
It does.
Warm hugs.
It does get Contractz up to a good breakpoint now too. You get your level 6 on the Wukong, and you have flash ready. You are itching to make plays because Wukong with flash, with ultimate, with a Galio on your team that also has ult is definitely the recipe for putting some extra pressure. And the area for that pressure should not change. It is correct here. You keep on focusing bottom half of the map between bottom lane and mid lane, and try and get some more pressure and some more resources out of it.
Currently, though, the grubs just spawned, so Contractz is hovering around the top half of the map, clears out some camps there, and we'll go for the start on the grubs. Josedeodo is actually pathing towards the bottom side currently. So it looks like there will be no contest there either. Let's see if Contractz actually wants to go for all three, or if he'll just take a couple and walk away.
Yeah, I mean, grubs were buffed on this patch, which makes them, slightly more valuable objective now. And not only that, but that's 2 quick early objectives in the tank for Shopify, as he's going to be able to clear out all 3 of those.
Essentially on spawn. And Yeon and Core pushed the bot wave in, but there was a reset for Bvoy, so he's going back in to catch this wave. Josedeodo will just get the camps on the bottom half of the map, and no contest so far. I guess there was a look at the dragons, but they didn't actually full commit onto that one. So just lead in the jungle position as the taunt lands now into the mid lane again. QUID should be just fine. Not much Milio can do to help kill in a gank mid lane. But these small incremental advantages from the neutral objectives is the name of the game for Shopify's early game so far.
And now it looks like with the squad, potentially, Jose wants to take a look at these Raptors. We've seen a lot of battles over the Raptors.
The bloodiest of all Raptor pits is that one right there on your screen. Contractz is able to get in and smite secure the big one. As now Team Liquid need to get their guys out of there. The taunt lands, the engage comes through. Contractz looking for the Cyclone, locking down CoreJJ for now, but Josedeodo's in a good spot. Now the hero's entrance, but Team Liquid kited back in time. QUID's able to sidestep that one. Now Xayah could be in some trouble here. Has to pop the flash. In goes Zinie, trying to buy space for the rest of Shopify Rebellion, but not enough damage from the squad means first blood picked up by Josedeodo.
Yeah, and Jose kind of getting out of that. Nafari is so good at kind of dodging a lot of this damage, and then the re-engage from Core on the Rakan, really, really nice to kind of stave off the initial pressure from Shopify and then get a kill of their own.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Kind of evade and then re-engage, as you say. They didn't get the Raptors, but it doesn't matter because Shopify are the ones that try and start this. So Zinie's thinking, all right, I proc my Aftershock, I'll be able to start this. But he immediately flashed out, and Contractz can't get much damage down on the rest of them. And then once they have Galio ultimate, they again kite it out. So good job by TL kind of kiting and avoiding both of the engages from Shopify. And since Zinie had used his flash so quickly on the first time he went in, he couldn't escape.
Yeah, good job, good job.
Nice, nice.
Milio.
And Spawn clapping. I mean, I also think for TL, now that they have like a kind of solid 1K gold lead off of that, TL do have such a strong teamfight composition. Even though they did give up some of these early objectives, they now should be able to contest a lot of things. And yeah, Zinie locking in the Shirelias.
Yeah, he's playing for team playmaking, the name of the game here. He's got the speed up, the engage. Shopify, they know they want to keep on stacking those objectives. They don't want to let the Ornn start handing out upgrades for the Xayah Rakan to and Orianna to be able to carry some team fights. So they want to keep making plays themselves to keep stacking the objectives.
Yeah, and as you see, we have a few like kind of pocket pick records on the line, with Seos having a very strong record on that Milio, and then Jose being undefeated on this Nafari.
Both of them 15 KDAs.
Yeah, I remember interviewing him afterwards.
We'll get back to that as the Raptor invade's happening again. Contractz not able to get the big one that time around, as now the Cyclone used defensively. Josedeodo carrying the Shockwave forward, but Contractz gets back to the turret and will get out safely. Yeah, those Raptors contested back-to-back. I imagine that's going to keep happening.
We love chickens here, and Raptors.
Look at all these
whatever
chickens.
you want to call them. I call them birds on my jungle pathing spreadsheets. But there you kind of see like how many dive buddies this Nafari has, right? Like Rakan can follow up, Ori ball can be placed. It's just going to be increasingly scary with this, how many Nafari combinations you can get. And already there's TL evening up the Drake stacking, keeping an eye on those Raptors, and Contractz will be going for Jose's Raptors now.
Yeah, it's time to pay that back, as Zinie's actually taking a lot of damage in the mid lane, 1v2, and he goes down! Josedeodo with the kill credit, as Yeon just peppers him with feathers, and successful defense on the Raptors.
Yeah, they are. Look at the lane assignments. They already, move over Xayah Rakan towards mid, and it's a nice walk down there because Zinie had no flash. So Shopify start falling apart after the Raptor invade. Even though they don't kill Contractz, it doesn't matter because you chunk them out so low. You can get the dragon. You put a stop to all those early objectives Shopify were getting, and then off of rotating your duo towards mid, you can make another play because Shopify were trying to go for another invade. So Team Liquid much ahead of them in the macro in these last couple of plays here. The game over Raptors really is turning their favor. Both of the Raptor Pit attempted plays there going for TL.
Yeah, sometimes we're all SOFM. I do want to point out the jungle discrepancy now, though, because we had talked about both junglers now have their first items in. Triforce locked in for Contractz. Cyclo Sword locked in for Nafari. We've talked about the incredible power of that reworked item recently as well. But even though Contractz was able to get an early lead off of kind of combining with Zinie for early pressure and invades, Jose has not only caught up, but now has a pretty solid advantage.
And one should know it, Raptors spawn, and we're contesting them again. Josedeodo's going in, but the Cyclone from Contractz, he wants to start the fight for himself as Bvoy joins from the side, plus Zinie, taunt lands onto one. Trying to get the damage on Josedeodo, but he gets out with the teleport coming in to back them up. 5 members of Team Liquid are there. Who got the Raptor, though? That's the real question. I think it was Contractz.
Well, the big repercussions are going to be Ornn teleported away from the top lane, so you're just going to have Fudge push that top lane wave in. Ornn walking back up. Actually, he's going to get there kind of as it crashes, so is going to catch some of them, but Shopify now also with that summoner spell advantage.
Yeah, and they're moving up into kind of this top side quadrant to potentially get a little bit more vision down off of Fudge being able to push that wave in.
And I want to bring up this point here, as actually Josedeodo is looking mid. Not going to find anything currently. The fact that this has been such a jungle-focused matchup, Josedeodo versus Contractz, very exciting jungle matchup just between the two of these. It was early game for Contractz, but Josedeodo, with the help of his team, has done a fantastic job of equalizing and now picking up 2 kills for himself. And Contractz won't even walk up to that Raptor.
Yeah, both of those were off of, by the way, Shopify engages, where Zinie is the one that did the engage. Both by that kind of the defense on Raptors the first time around, and then also in mid lane. You know, it was Zinie's choice to engage on Yeon, and that's why he got himself into trouble with the feathers there. And that kill was another one that had gone over to Jose. So the Galio that's trying to play for jungle has been a source of gold for their opponents.
Yeah, and I think another thing that we kind of went a little bit unsaid, but is always a part. We're looking on pick to quit.
Yeah, it's flash out of QUID. Cyclone was 2 seconds away from Contractz right there. So just moments away from maybe getting the kill. At least it is a summoner down, and now Contractz just pushing them away from the turret itself. Josedeodo will at least get the Herald for this, but this could be multiple plates bot lane now for Shopify.
Yeah, I think Galio is going to be able to clean this up as they keep harassing really high up in the lane.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shopify will respond, or TL rather, will respond by getting that Rift Herald, and then the trade is going to be this bot tier 1.
Yeah, first turret bonus on this bottom tier 1 as well, so nice little bonus there. Does help in their efforts of cutting down the TL gold lead.
And also, Dragon of 50 seconds, QUID does not have flash. They got the summoner spell from that earlier attempt, so they're actually looking to maintain their position in the river here, not giving up Team Liquid's space to take that control ward. As I say it now, they will back off. Want to go for a reset, I imagine, before Dragon play.
Yeah, and so much of this is going to come down to setup and vision, right? Just because TL do have, as we already pointed out, with the Xayah Rakan, so many easy tools to be able to deal with a lot of the dive potential coming out of this Wukong and Galio. So yeah, it's just going to be really important for both teams to kind of get their vision down and get a good setup onto this Drake.
Also, a reminder for everybody, we are back in the Riot Games Arena next week, and tickets are also on sale, so go check those out. Speaking of tickets, get your tickets at the Road to Arizona. It's playoffs time, baby, so the finals will be at the Mullet Arena. Kobe's mullet is coming in fantastic, I will say.
I'm gonna go your strat. I'm gonna get a wig as well.
You're just gonna get a wig? Well, why are you giving it away?
Because
maybe people thought I was gonna grow one.
My bad. Sorry. Spoilers. I'm also just assuming that. Maybe I'm still wrong.
True.
I might still be wrong.
He already spoiled it on desk. As we see some heavy trading in mid lane, TL did actually net that third Drake for themselves, 2 now in the stacking, and are pressuring this mid-tier 1.
We have a dive top lane, though, right now. The turret's very low, so if they just take that out first, the taunt comes up onto Morgan, and now Fudge, no turret in the way, can try and roast him down. He's able to jump out of there as mid-turret will fall to the Herald. Morgan trying to buy some more time for the rest of Team Liquid to come up to the top lane, but they're blocked up by Contractz in the river. And it looks like no fight will actually happen. So just a mid-turret for top turret trade at the end of the play.
Yeah, Morgan survives. Still pretty difficult to kill that Ornn. And also he did have kind of the rest of the team moving up and kind of trading a little bit of DPS with Shopify in the river.
And mid lane turrets are definitely more, I mean, they're not technically more valuable as far as the gold goes, but they are as far as the map setup.
Figuratively, they're a lot more valuable.
Because it makes it so much easier to get mid lane priority for objectives. So it is quite nice for TL to do a mid for top low trade right there and be able to turn it around. And now we're just looking at summoner spells. And again, Orianna is the target, as Emily mentioned. Both the Xayah and the Nafari, these other carries on Team Liquid, they can just jump up in the air and become untargetable. So they're much more difficult targets, whereas the Orianna with no flash is a big one.
Talk about targets. It's Contractz right now that's getting engaged on. Shockwave pulls him back, but it was only the clone. He got to safety. And Cyclone's away from the fight. So Team Liquid not finding a pick. We're just scrapping around. Again, the Raptors. We just need to have like a death mark on that part of the minimap. You like watch that.
So I know our stats guy can do like a heat map, and I would love to see the heat map because I feel like it's just going to be both Raptor camps.
You're not going to name him? You're not going to give credit to Leo?
Leo? Yeah, Liam.
Liam.
He who must not be named. He's kind of like Voldemort, you know. He wields a lot of evil power, I've heard.
Of statistics.
As Xayah learned recently, you don't want to mess with him.
Yeah, that's true.
Shopify going for an invade. Contractz jumping onto Josedeodo, has the team all behind him as he looks to smite away the buff. As now Bvoy getting engaged on by CoreJJ, but the damage was not there to follow up. QUID a little too far away. Also doesn't have Shockwave. So Shopify feeling confident to keep scrapping. Bvoy has exhaust on him. Yeon had exhaust as well, and everyone just backs away. So I believe that was blue buff though secured by Contractz. Shopify at least get out with that.
Yeah,
if I saw that correctly, at least.
I believe it was, the smite there for Nafari, because he is also wearing it. He gave the thumbs up afterwards, so I'm going to go with Jose. But regardless, never mind, we have attack.
The Forge got onto Zinie, has to flash away from the knock-up, and now we'll channel the teleport. Morgan's going to try to knock him up before then, not in time. So Zinie does successfully get away.
Yep, successful getaway, but that's now TP down for Zinie for a little bit. So we'll see. They're probably still going to try to, send him up top side, set him up in a side lane since he still will have Galio ultimate to rejoin the team.
I feel with the 2-item power spikes coming in for most of the players in the game now, it becomes a really big issue for Shopify, how they're going to deal with Yeon. We even saw in the last fight, Yeon's positioning very aggressively and can walk up and like lay down so many feathers on 2-item power spike here with the quick blades also being completed for him, as well as for Bvoy. There's so much more safety in the TL setup here and their 5-on-5. Shopify are going to have to find a really good angle around the side to quickly delete one of the carries from TL, and we're approaching this breakpoint fairly quickly because it's only 50 seconds before the dragon. That's around the time you really need to get your wards and be there early for the objective. We'll also say, as far as the 2-item power spikes, the new Imperial mandate is done for Zinie, and so that provides the damage amp when you do land your CC. For your rest of your team as well, and giving you the cooldown reduction, the extra ability haste for your CC abilities here. So Zinie going with the super cook on the new Galio build here. Very, very supportive, very play for team type of build.
Dragon in 20 seconds. Team Liquid currently controlling the access point in the river. Zinie's going to try and front line to give them space. Lands a CC onto CoreJJ as Bvoy takes some trades there against Morgan, but Zinie is just getting roasted. Not a very tanky Galio with that build. And that means the Shopify now with the full retreat. Flash from Seos and Bvoy. The equalizer comes down. Fudge trying to give Bvoy some space to play with, but I think damage is done. I mean, with a 4v5 now, very low chance of a contest from Shopify.
Yeah, I don't think they will contest without this Galio unless they start feeling really, really desperate.
It was multiple ultimates from Team Liquid. That's 4 down. Only Yeon has his available.
Yeah, so, I mean, this Galio build, as we said, it's like a super cook. It is very squishy. It's all about, like, utility. And, the Shurelia's does not have defenses on it. The Mandate does not have defenses on it either. He did, start with the Doran's helm, so you can by defenses.
Yeah, and his W, can shield a Duran, gives you some resistances, but it's not a lot.
It's like you got to get like good value out of Shurelia's speed and good amp for your team to make it worth it.
Not able to save the bottom turret either as Morgan backs up QUID to push that one in. That's going to be the 3rd dragon plus another turret for Team Liquid, and slowly they are getting more and more control of Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, and I think you can increasingly see, like, there is a world where Shopify are able to get the perfect team fight off, right? With this supportive Galio build, just constantly buffing Bvoy, right? Contractz taking out priority targets, equalizer going down. But I feel like TL have so many tools to reposition and avoid damage.
Yeah, and to Kobe's point, you kind of have to be there first. If Team Liquid are in the river first, they don't have a front line to walk in. It really is, unfortunately, Zinie on the Galio. So, I mean, Kobe mentioned the importance of, like, setting up the wards and being at the place early. Team Liquid so far checking those boxes. Shopify a little behind the play.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, you just have to be really good with like hitting your CC combos because as we said, he's got 2, like AP support items. So if he can hit the CC and they can like chain some good knockups there, then maybe they can do it. But we're already in the area of both carries with QUID and Yeon having their Ornn upgrades. So like the full, as Jose is thinking about.
Yeah, the itemization is coming through for Team Liquid, but Shopify look for their play. Contractz over the wall. Here comes the hero's entrance. Only going to land onto QUID right there. And now call the Forge God defensively from Team Liquid to re-engage. Shopify get away. Team Liquid don't have the range to follow up there. So I guess it's just a couple ults thrown at each other. Nobody goes down.
Yeah, and I mean, there you, I think, again, see all of the tools that TL has to deal with the engage from Shopify. I feel like neither team have done the full commit as of recently, right? Like, it's a lot of these little, like, okay, we'll kind of go in. That's the closest to a full commit we saw from Shopify. And TL can kind of, they just have so many ways to mitigate damage in the kits of their champions, especially with Nafari and Xayah.
Yeah. And do damage.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like this TL's they're just so much more solid. They're like a freaking like meat grinder here. If you get a full commit, I feel like Shopify are just going to get ground up and just stat checked. Because Ornn is such a beefy, you know, real front line. And Shopify, you have the feeling that they do have to rely on hitting their CCs and comboing them in order to not only make their offense successful, but even their defense successful. And they have not been able to do that, as you keep pointing out. Like TL can avoid a lot of, have been able to avoid it very successfully so far. And we're moving towards a very quick Dragon Soul. So Shopify really have to get like a crazy flank or something, insta-delete the Orianna. And even then, it does feel like TL, as long as they can get people in position, have really good ability to kind of stat check.
And they're supporting it by getting a ton of vision and kind of pressure down by pushing out that bot wave, by getting vision in Shopify's bot side jungle here. They're going to be really, really well set up for this Drake spawn in just a little over a minute. And this is what I like to see from TL when they are at their best. I do think of these kind of big macro movements of just kind of setting up the map in a really good spot, and that's going to force Shopify to kind of have to contest this Cloud Drake Soul at a disadvantage.
We're talking about like the potential play Shopify have. It's like, oh, find a flank or find somebody out of position. Well, if they're just grouped around Dragon, you're probably not going to find either of those. It really comes down to Contractz finding an insane play. Maybe Bvoy just having a pop-off team fight, but Team Liquid are in such good control right now. 30 seconds till Drag spawns. Let's see if they maintain.
So also Zinie's third support item here for the Galio does provide some tankiness with the shield. He has gone for the locket. That did get the little buffs as well. So let's see with the 3-item power spike.
Can he do it? Will he die in 5 seconds or 6 seconds this time? Let's see. As Team Liquid still have control, because they're going to have to send the Galio in, send somebody in to wrestle away the vision control the Team Liquid have currently. We're repositioning to the bottom lane. Shopify trying a new strategy this time around. Mid lane did not work last time. Maybe this is the avenue.
Yeah, they are going to spot for it.
Got early from Morgan. They got in onto Bvoy, and the Lucian's in a lot of trouble to start things off. Zinie does buy him some space. Contractz will go down on the side. Bvoy's still alive, but Fudge looks to fall here too. Team Liquid refocusing up onto the solo laner here as Bvoy and Zinie will look to take down Morgan, but his health bar is just too big. QUID on a killing spree as Fudge goes down. Shopify lose 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, while everyone was kind of focused on Morgan and the Ornn, Contractz was dying in bot lane to TL. This is going to be their Cloud Soul here. And again, you see how Shopify, even when they're trying to set up this kind of perfect fight, it does not work. And TL pulled the trigger first, win the fight, and get the Drake.
And I'm curious what the call here was, because I imagine Contractz might be expecting the Galio to go on him here.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they had a really good interrupt where Xayah interrupts Jose's ulti, or Bvoy would have gotten deleted on the left side. But it doesn't matter because they're able to chase down on the other side. Contractz does get deleted here. But I thought it was a really good initiation from Morgan there. Pop the Ornn ultimate, go for the flash knockup onto Bvoy, and then Xayah had a really good kick on the Ultra Mega Fire kick here on Jose to stop his ult. But of course, losing the jungle on the other side too means instantly that Dragon Soul is gone, and TL, they are going to march towards those gates here.
4K gold lead plus the Dragon Soul. That's a lot.
Yeah, and they're already setting up, again, their vision line. They're pushing out top turret. They get top tier 1. They're going to be setting up for this Baron, and they're already on it.
Yeah, starting it up. We did see Zinie pushing in that bottom wave. Shopify have a couple of members nearby teleporting Zinie in. Has the hero's entrance available if they want to go for it. Cyclone defensively from Contractz as Jose looks to jump onto him, so no Wukong ult at the Baron pit anymore. Shopify Rebellion will instead push this mid wave. Team Liquid will catch it, and I imagine they still have a fantastic spot around this Baron. They could just look to peel right back to it.
Yeah, super solid game from Team Liquid this time around. Very well controlled from them. Let's see, with the Dragon Soul, they've got all this extra speed, so it makes you really worried about the turn. Ornn Ultimate is available, so they can just start up the Baron as many times as they want. And then if you walk close, Shopify, guess what? The train is going to come through, and you get run over. So you're kind of choosing between, do we hope for a miracle like defending towers at our base, or do we hope for a miracle approaching a Dark Baron?
Yeah, and you've already seen their decision is, nope, we're just going to push in. We're going to try to get some of these turrets down. They aren't able to get that mid tier 1, though, which would have been really, really nice for them. But it's exactly as you say, Kobe, right? Like, now they're like, okay, maybe we can make a base defense.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're going to get that bottom tier turret. We see Fudge heavily pushing in there. It'll be traded for the tier 2 in mid lane. And Team Liquid will go for the reset. So Baron into immediate cash out from the turret and now defend their own. Fudge TPs away. And we'll catch this top wave. So not too bad from Fudge. But overall, this is a fantastic play for Team Liquid. They are in a commanding position here. Let's see how much they can actually get done with this Baron, because it's rare that we see the Baron itself just turn into a win, just pushing and sieging turrets. Oftentimes, you still need to find that team fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think TL have the right idea, right? Like, they're pushing in mid. They'd already taken down that mid tier 2. They're now going to be able to rotate very easily to bot, where QUID has already pushed out that bot wave. I mean, it's just kind of clinical for them at this point.
Yeah, I feel like that's been the name of the game here too. They successfully were able to punish the Galio mid a bunch of times for the early stages of the game, and then scale up super nicely. Now they're at the gates, and Kangas, I don't know if Shopify can answer this one.
Yeah, Raz might be have a stunner in his future here. For the Shopify
You're going to have to power Shopify up.
Yeah, let's see if they got anything in them right now. Team Liquid going to go for the play. The Call to Forge God will land only onto Bvoy, but no big follow-up from the rest of Team Liquid. Means that now Contractz can go in. Flashes for the Cyclone. Knockups land onto QUID, but QUID's getting back to safety. Now CoreJJ backing up his mid laner, and it's QUID on a rampage. It's Team Liquid winning the team fight for now. One will fall. Bvoy's good for that one, but a double kill to QUID and an ace for TL will mean a Game 1 victory for the team in the lower bracket, expected to make a deep run here and getting it done in game number 1. GG, Team Liquid go up 1-0.
Yeah, they were able to deal with all of the early pressure that we did see Shopify kind of try to have. They had all the tools to be able to deal with Shopify's composition, and then it was just straight up like classic TL, really great map play, and I am curious to see what the lounge thinks now. I've heard they have a special guest.
We do. We got APA here.
Yo.
How you doing?
Good.